Is the quarantine getting you down? Stay tuned on how to stay positive during your self-isolation. So I realize this whole isolation thing is getting a lot of people down. There's a lot of questions online about how to maintain your positive attitude, how to stay in the proper mindset. It's rough on some people that are not used to being stuck at home all the time. Fortunately, I've been working from home for 18 years now. Gotten quite used to being at home. And my wife is also at home. We've been home together for 18 years, working together. So I think we got some good tips on how to stay positive, how we've been doing it all this time, and hopefully it helps you out. The first tip is having a morning routine. I'm sure you had a morning routine where you got up, you took your shower, you got dressed, you went and had your coffee, your breakfast, and then went to work. And whenever we get something that just drastically changes our lives, we tend to ruin our routines, and the most important thing is to keep that routine. So what you want to do is make sure that you act as if you are going to the office. So you get up and you take your shower, you eat your breakfast, you have your coffee, you brush your teeth, whatever it is that's your normal morning routine. Go back to that routine. Get dressed. Don't stay in your pajamas. One of the things that people miss, they don't even realize, they get in their cars and they go to work, and you're getting sunlight when you go out to the car and you drive to work. You're getting the light shining on your skin and your eyes, and if you stay in the house all day, you're not getting that, and you can start getting a little depressed. Not only do I make sure that I go outside and sit outside for a little while each day, but also on busy days, I'm going to turn it on here behind me. I have one of those daylights that just lights up the whole room and points right at me. And you get used to it, and you don't even notice it after a while. But it's very handy, especially if you can't get outside and you're stuck in the house for a while, to stop that little bit of depression that can come from not getting any sunlight. Luckily, I also live in Las Vegas, and I got a lot of natural light coming through my window. But some people don't have that, and those daylights really do work, so that it's worth taking a shot. Something else you may have never tried, a lot of people haven't. I come from a martial arts background too, so I did a lot of this, especially when I was younger, and I know the power of it. And a short meditation can do wonders to relieve stress, get you focused, especially if it's being a really rough time financially, or just dealing with the whole thing of being at home. Getting that time just to let your mind kind of relax and get back into the mode of being focused and relaxed, and so you start thinking straight again, because it can get stressful, and when stress takes over, we don't think the way we should be thinking. So like I said, you want to do everything in your normal life. You want to get showered, eat breakfast, get dressed. You want to develop some kind of exercise routine, especially if you're used to walking, to get to your car, get to your office. Even if you had a sit-down job, you still were walking to your office every day. So you need to get out and do a little bit of walking, and that covers the daylight portion too. If you get out and go for a walk around your neighborhood, you're going to get the light. There's no danger in that, because it's all about social distancing. And as long as, one of the best places you can be is the outdoors, walking around by yourself or with your dogs. The next thing, I guess, would be making sure that you've got a space. I covered this in a previous video, that you have a space for work and a space to relax. That's very important, because when you get in that space of going to work, you're going to your office, and that sets up your mind for work. And when you go to your space to relax, like you did when you got home from work, that space is still there. If you're working from that space, that can cause you to not be able to disassociate those two spaces. You want to keep your work hours, which you probably are anyways, especially if you're if you're working from home, you're probably on the same schedule, taking calls, meetings, so forth online. But it's important to keep that same schedule. Get up at the same time that you used to, work the same hours that you used to, and that can help get a little bit of that routine back and normalcy back into your life to where it doesn't impact you so hard. FaceTime with your family is really a great tip to keep in touch and have that social aspect to your life. We're lucky that we live in a time to where we can just grab our phone and FaceTime with somebody across the country or next door, and you get that little personal connection. You get to look at them, talk to them, and it's not just a voice over the phone. That adds a lot, and it can really help. Especially you can do Hangouts also, like Google Hangout or on Facebook, and have multiple people on multiple screens. And, it's like having a group meeting and you're all sitting there talking together like friends do. So, as I said earlier, exercise, walking the dogs. That, as you can tell from my screens behind me, I've got the dogs, my little white fluff ball and my little black fluff ball, which you probably can't see. The black one there on the other picture here, I'll tilt it over. There he is over there. So, and he sits at my desk every day. Here, I'll pull him up here. That's another thing that keeps me sane, is having my dogs around. The black one sits in the window all day. His name's Quinn. So he's my business helper. And the other one's down on the floor there. She's not a jumper yet. But, and playing with your kids, of course. I have dogs, not kids. But, kids, same thing. They can definitely take your mind off of everything going on, and it adds a whole new aspect. So, another tip I have that I love to do, I think I like making these more than I actually like listening to them, and I love to make playlists on Spotify or Apple Music, and that is going through. I have a 80s playlist, I have an R&B playlist, I have a heavy metal playlist, all the different types of music. I go through and pick out my favorite songs, hunt them down, and put them on a playlist. And and then when you get in the mood for that type of music, you just put on your playlist. But it's a lot of fun to go make it, and you get a lot of memories going back through the old time music, especially like I grew up in the 80s, so 80s music has that special memory factor whenever I'm putting it together. And I think that playlist has like 800 some songs on it. It's ridiculous. But like I said, I like making the list. So another thing to keep positive is you want to keep up on what's going on in the world. I get that. But don't be checking the news all the time. Things are not going to happen to where you need hourly updates. Unless you're a doctor or you're a scientist that's working on the front lines of this, you don't need to know what's going on every second of the day. Check the news once a day, once every 2 days. Try to limit yourself to where you stay knowledgeable, but you're not getting inundated with bad news constantly. Because right now it's April 4th, so things are still on the upswing, and it's getting worse each day as far as the contagion rate, and that just brings a person down. That leads me right into social media. If you're gonna get on Facebook and Twitter, don't just read through all the negative stuff. Chat with your friends. Look for positive things. Look for funny memes, videos. You don't have to dwell in the negative side of social media, which is really easy to. And then you got conspiracy theories and people having their own theories, and you don't know what to believe, what's right and what's wrong. It can just lead you down a horrible trail, and it's hard to get out of that negative funk. So definitely limit your social media or use it in the correct way. Another big one is don't get down on yourself for not getting done what you normally would get done. You're working from home now. You got different distractions. It's a different landscape. You can't beat yourself up for not getting everything done that you normally would. Or the fact that you're maybe don't have anything to do. Maybe if you were a waitress or a waiter and the restaurants are closed, you don't have any work to do. Take this time to read a book, watch a movie, hang out with your family, play board games, and don't feel guilty about it. I mean, you can't stop what's going on, So you got to make the absolute best of it. And who knows what comes from that? When you got a positive mind, positive things happen and positive ideas pop up. And who knows, maybe you'll want to start a new business. Maybe you got a business idea or something you wanted to do, a book you wanted to read, a show you wanted to binge watch that everybody's talked about and you never got a chance to watch. Perfect time to do that. A big one, I said meditation earlier. And this kind of goes along with it, but once again, being a martial artist in the past, I actually, way before like UFC and stuff like that became popular, I was in a more traditional Japanese martial art, and a big part of that was breathing. We had entire classes just on breathing and breath. When you learn how to fall correctly, or you learn how to take a punch, or give a punch, or take a kick, give a kick, it's all with breath flow. And it really does set your mental state. Breathing correctly can change how you feel. You can change your mood. You have a lot of control when you control your breath. So even just taking the 4-second breath in, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, wait 4 seconds, breathe in again for 4 seconds, and do that repetitively for a few minutes, and your mind will go into a different state. It's amazing. It just will do it all on its own. So, as I mentioned earlier, if you've been looking to start a new business, check out our other videos. We have an Ultimate Business Sales List Startup Checklist. I said that wrong there. It's the Ultimate Business Startup Checklist if you're looking to start a business. We have a video on setting up your day for success, which came out before all this happened, and it was about how to get your day set up like a millionaire. The routines that they normally have that most people don't have, and if you do those routines, you're setting yourself up for a better chance of success. And I'd love to see you on the next video. We are a new channel, so be sure to like, subscribe, any comments, anything you'd like to know. Like I said, I've been doing marketing and sales for 30 years. I've been working at home full-time for 18 years. So I've got a lot of experience in the sales and marketing arena, getting a business started up. I've ran my own business since 2006. And, any questions, love to see them in the comments below, and we'll cover it maybe in a video and give you a shout out for the question. And much success to you. See you on the next video.